After being reborn, the first thing my cousin Amanda Brown and I did was break up with our current fiancés. In our previous life, Amanda and I both got married. With her gentle and quiet personality, she married the cold and distant Navy Colonel Kevin Sinclair. Because Kevin missed their wedding anniversary to attend a friend's birthday party, Amanda wanted an explanation, but he didn't care. They ended up in a Cold War for 50 Christmases. Meanwhile, I had a fiery temper yet married Tom Smith, an accountant at a car factory. Tom was refined and proper, but he complained that I talked too loudly and had no fashion sense. We argued constantly, and eventually, he preferred sleeping at his office rather than coming home. Our marriage didn't even last one Christmas before we divorced. When I opened my eyes again, Amanda and I had returned to our wedding day. Get down here now. Tom is such a good man, yet you insist on running off to that distant island. You're so stubborn. Seeing my mother's disappointed face as she chased after the bus made me sad. But thinking about how Amanda and I each ended up in our previous lives, I told myself my decision wasn't wrong. Hawaii might be far away, and Kevin might be difficult to get along with, but that didn't matter. Even if I divorced him, I could live independently, but Amanda couldn't. In her previous life, after marrying Kevin, they lived in a Cold War due to misunderstandings. Such a gentle person as Amanda was ruined by Kevin. So in this rebirth, looking at the melancholic Amanda, I decisively started packing my bags. I said, Amanda, I'll go marry Kevin. Tom may not seem ambitious, but he has a good temperament. You two should get along well. Amanda stood up excitedly, but then firmly said, Kevin isn't easy to get along with. I can't let you bear my misfortune. I replied, Amanda, it's okay. Christmas Grandpa didn't specifically designate who had to be Kevin's fiancé. Although Kevin is difficult, I'm confident. If life becomes unbearable in Hawaii, I'm not afraid. I demonstrated a set of freestyle fighting moves right there. Amanda broke into laughter through her tears and reluctantly agreed. Unlike Amanda's gentleness, I practiced combat since childhood and am used to solving problems with force. That's why Tom, who considered himself an intellectual, and I never saw eye to eye. I found him tedious. He thought I was violent. Our marriage was unhappy, and we parted ways before one Christmas had passed. So this time around, I decided to let Amanda marry him. Tom lived close to home. Having family nearby would be better than Amanda being lonely and depressed on Hawaii Island like in her previous life. I held Amanda's hand and pleaded until she finally nodded helplessly. Fine, I agree. And so, I took my luggage and boarded the flight to Hawaii. I just didn't expect my mother to catch up so quickly. I thought, I left a letter explaining everything clearly. What else is she worried about? I'm going to Hawaii. If I can't make it, I'll come back on my own. I shouted to my mother as she ran after the car. After a long journey, I finally arrived in Honolulu. I then boarded a military jeep heading to the base, hoping to get some sleep, but suffered from severe motion sickness. When I got off, my face was pale. I sat at the military post waiting for Kevin to pick me up. Thinking about how disheveled I looked, I felt relieved, believing that someone as delicate as Amanda would never have endured this hardship. Kevin, why is there a strange smell in here? I feel so uncomfortable. Just as I was lost in thought, a sugary voice rang out. I looked up. A girl with her hair tied back, looking rather frail, was covering her nose and complaining to the man beside her. I glanced at the tall, straight-backed man next to her and felt somewhat helpless.